All right. I thought about making another video for my main channel. Firing up the MPC-1, making a project, showing you guys my beat making process, maybe on the MPC XL, adding some scratch, writing a whole song, doing the whole thing. Or maybe just talking about a piece of gear, talking about machine again, talking about the future of the MPC sample and what I actually think about it. And I fell into this rabbit hole of doubting myself and like asking myself, why does this even matter? And, that shit just happens sometimes. So I started a new script, just writing some lines just for my own sake about what I'm thinking about, what I'm going through mentally when it comes to creativity and YouTube specifically. And I thought about making a video talking about this on the main channel. And then I got into that rabbit hole again of thinking about who cares? It's just some guy complaining, which is true. So I jumped on the YouTube app and found my video from 11 months ago on this secondary channel where I talked about pretty much exactly this. I watched the video and I found myself, I'm in the same kind of rabbit hole. Back then, like almost a year ago, I was complaining about YouTube and algorithms and viewership and my kind of expectations of it all. And I'm noticing that this doesn't have anything to do with YouTube, viewership, numbers, expectations. It just has to do with me and my struggles with creativity. So I ended up with this document in Notion that I use for like documents and scripts and all that kind of stuff. I had some kind of video idea and I put it down and it says, my issue with YouTube. So I thought about making a video about that on the main channel and posting that. And I fell into the same rabbit hole of thinking about, who cares? It's just whatever, doesn't matter. And I'm noticing I'm not having an issue with YouTube. I'm having an issue with my creativity in general. When it comes to making videos, making beats, creating graphic design kind of work, drawing stuff on my iPad that I do every now and then. I'm a creative person in general, and sometimes I'm getting into these like big, large, kind of extended, heavy periods of self-doubting. Not because I feel bad for anything else, just because, the whole, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. That's something a lot of us creatives have every now and then, and sometimes it just makes me unable to finish stuff, or sometimes even unable to start stuff, because I'm doubting myself too much. So, this video right here is nothing, and it's not supposed to be anything, but there is this one YouTuber called Sarah Dietschy. She's like a normal kind of YouTuber talking about tech and computers and cameras, and she's married to a skateboarder, John Hill, also kind of a cool guy, so whatever. She talks about flexing the muscle, and that's what I need to do. That's what I'm doing right here, right now, sitting in front of these cameras with the microphone, just doing a little bit of editing and just posting this video on the second channel. It's a way for me to like lowering the threshold, lowering the bar, because right now, this whole imposter syndrome thing affects me a lot. And I have this performance anxiety kind of thing that I feel like everything I do needs to be so much better than the last thing I did. That's not a great sentence and it needs to be cut out, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna use that because I think you're able to understand what I'm trying to say. Complaining. It's actually kind of funny how this works, because when I had this idea, I started typing a few lines in Notion, like a script for this video. I don't need a script for this video. What am I thinking? But, that's what I did. The title is My Issue with YouTube, which is false. It's going to be My Issue with Creativity. And the first sentence is this. All right, here I am, complaining about stuff that doesn't matter from a pretty privileged position. I know, I get that. And that's what it is. It's still true. It's me complaining about not being able to kind of, use my creativity the way I want to use my creativity, because I am becoming kind of an issue for myself. I'm getting in my own way. And I've done that so many times before. And posting a video like this will hopefully make me realize that it doesn't really matter. No one really cares. I did this whole thing with my website the other day. I changed the color schemes and like the fonts and stuff, and I redid the design of it. Like it matters. It doesn't. Did I have a good time doing it? Was it kind of a creative process? Yeah. And that's what counts. That no one cares is actually kind of a good thing, because then I don't need to think about stuff too much. I am a notorious overthinker, and I overanalyze every single thing I do. And that's the problem with, making stuff on YouTube that gets views, because then I'm getting into the whole mindset of, I need to get these kind of views. I need to get all these people that watched that video to be, interested in the next video, and that I'm chasing my own kind of tail, and I'm just doesn't work. So I need to lower the threshold. I've talked about this so many times before. I know this is not a new concept. It's definitely not new to me, but sometimes I just need to remind myself that it's not that fucking serious. It's art. It's creativity. In this case, it's fucking content. It's marketing for, companies, whatever. It's also about inspiration and beauty and art and, creativity. Sure. But I can't force myself to always improve and always do really good stuff. Sometimes things just needs to suck. And that's what this video is. It kind of sucks. Some fucking white guy in Sweden complaining about not being able to use his creativity as he wants to because he's a problem for himself. Fuck me. Let's put this in context just a little bit. I have this YouTube channel that I'm overanalyzing, and I think it's really important, and that's connected to like an Instagram account that I don't care so much about, but too much. That's what that is. Then this guy also wants me to make the beat for this tattoo convention locally around where I live, and I'm just not getting my thumb out of my ass, I think I kind of have the idea, and I just want to finish it and send it off, and it just doesn't happen, I also have this project with a rapper. He wants me to send him a lot of beats. I did send him a batch of tracks and just whatever, ideas for beats, whatever. And he wants new ones. And I have a lot of them in these devices right here. And I'm just not, for some fucking reason, I'm just not in the position where I'm motivating myself enough to do it. And I really don't know why. And one way of trying to kind of dig myself out of this rabbit hole of overthinking and caring too much is to just force myself to do less of it, using my secondary channel as kind of the outlet or the output of that. At the end of the day, what I really want is to close the second channel down and not do stuff like this, because anything like this could actually go on the main channel. I want to be that kind of guy who doesn't care at all, and whatever I want to do creatively, whatever I want to do in terms of a video, that goes on the main channel. So this is me flexing the muscle of trying to get back into, just back into the workflow and the consistency, and actually also kind of the lifestyle of spending time in here in front of the camera. I've spent a lot of time down here over the past couple of weeks, even though I haven't posted any videos. I'm making beats. I'm being creative. I'm doing stuff down here all the freaking time. Somehow I've just built up this whole thing that kind of doesn't allow me to post or to make stuff unless it's to a certain kind of quality level, up to par with my other stuff or whatever. And it's not that all my stuff is great either. It's always a little bit inconsistent and it's not perfect. I'm finding myself overthinking every single thing. Whenever I even make a beat these days, I'm switching out. I'm replacing my snare drum 6 times in the process. I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. And whenever I film something for a video, if the camera is not totally aligned, like this one right now, it's really crooked, sometimes I can sit here and film myself just to realize in editing that it's crooked and I need to reshoot the entire thing. Who does that? Who cares that much about this? No one should. I tend to do it. As always with these ranty kind of videos, I'm repeating myself over and over, but The purpose of this is to flex the muscle, get back into kind of this entire thing. Not because I have to, simply because I want to. Being creative in all these kinds of ways is a huge part of my lifestyle. It's a huge part of who I am. Not just YouTube, but just what I do. This is what I do. This is what I enjoy doing. And to keep myself grounded and to keep myself motivated and kind of be amped up about who I am and what I do, I just need to show myself that it's good enough. Even this. A video like this on the second channel with like 250 maybe views, that's good enough. I'm still having kind of a cool time thinking about this, processing it live in front of a camera, presenting it to you guys, and I'm sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 comments down below that's actually going to give me something back. And that's enough for this, and that should be enough for everything. Crazy. I'm noticing that even on my iPad. I'm drawing sometimes in Procreate, creating these cartoon characters and whatever. Even for those these days, I'm overthinking stuff. I'm like making a sketch and then I'm thinking, hey, yeah, that's not the right brush. It's not consistently doing the line the way I want. I'm redoing the entire thing. For who? For me? Yeah, maybe for me. But it would be better to just leave that one and move over to the next drawing. Keep flexing the muscle. Keep, treating it more as an exercise, I guess. Everything doesn't need to be a finished product. That's the entire thing about YouTube. That's why this worked for me, because I have a hard time finishing beats because I'm kind of a perfectionist. So making a video of me just jamming away, that's not a finished product, so I can just release it. These days, over the last couple of years, I guess, my YouTube output has become production more than me just jamming away and just feeling free to do whatever I want. Which is me putting force on myself. This is all me. Again, a really privileged guy complaining about stuff that doesn't matter. But this type of creativity is still what I like to do and what I enjoy doing and why it's a huge part of my life. And I'm not saying that I'm not having a good time or that the video you're going to see in a week or whatever wasn't a lot of fun to do. It was, in so many ways. Had a great time. But I'm making it too complicated and too hard for myself, and I just gotta lower the threshold. Well, that amount of stuttering maybe doesn't go, but maybe it does. You know what? Listen to this. Just because. Isn't that at least kind of cool? Kind of cool. I'm using the pumper effect way too much, and if I wanted to do this for a proper video on the main channel, I would have second thoughts about using the pumper that much. And it also doesn't sound that good, so I would like to take it down a little bit and find the bass line and play the bass line in there and whatever. But the main idea for this track is kind of cool for what it is. That sample with that pumping kind of thing with old school kind of drums like that, it's an idea, it's kind of a thing, but in my mind, of course, it's not good enough to share, it's not good enough to finish, it's not strong enough for me to send it to, fuck me, fuck that, and let's get back to flexing the muscle of doing more beats, more videos, more whatever, and I'm just gonna have to stop being in my own way. This is one way of me to, start. And I said this 11 months ago, and it doesn't... Whatever, I'm gonna hold myself accountable, like I did with my weight loss kind of thing, which has been working. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one, or the main channel, or in a live stream, or on Discord, whatever. Love you guys. Peace out.